Welcome to our SVM students. Today we are going to see about the magnetic field due to a bar magnet and magnetic effect of electric current. It is the 12th portion in the third lesson, 12th portion. First we are going to see about that bar magnet. We have that bar magnet. There we have two poles, north pole and south pole. There pole strength we have that we will mention small m and small m. There we have a length of our magnet. Let me assume that is a 2L. At the midpoint we are going to represent that is a O. Due to that magnet, we have a magnetic field around the magnet. The magnetic field around the magnet at any point we can find based on the formula. So we suppose the point P is here. We are making a line shining at the center of the magnet to that point P. Let me assume that the distance are R. Then the axis we are mentioning. The axis of the magnet makes a theta angle with that line shining where we are going to find the magnetic field. Their distance is also R. Based on that Coulomb's law formula, we can find that the magnetic field at this point. That value can be calculated. That is a magnetic field induction B generally represent. That can be taken as B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi capital M by R cube. That is the distance of the R cube of square root of 1 plus 3 cos square theta. This formula is applicable to find the magnetic field at any point around that magnet. Suppose I want to find that magnetic field along that axis. In the axial line we want to find that. So if you draw that axial line, suppose my point is here. Here I want to find that Q point. I want to find that magnetic field. That Q point is certain R distance. At this point I want to find that magnetic field for this bar magnet. There we have a angle. Here in this line theta value is equal to 0. Theta value is equal to 0. If you substitute the theta value is equal to 0 in our formula, we will get that axial line component. B axial line magnetic induction due to a bar magnet along its axial line, we will get that is mu naught by 4 pi into m by R cube square root of 1 plus 3. Here angle value is 0. If you substitute cos 0 becomes 1. Then we will get square root of 1 plus 3 only. From that we will get that axial line component mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by R cube. If we want to find the direction, means that the magnetic field is act along the direction of magnetic moment. We have that symbol, that is a capital M. Magnetic moment of a bar magnet can be taken as the product of one of the pole strength of our bar magnet and its length. Capital M is equal to small m into 2L. It is a vector quantity acting from south pole to the north pole. So for that we can represent that m vector equal to small m into 2L vector. You can represent vector formula like that. For that axial line we can find along its axis. If you take one of the point, there we can find that magnetic induction B axial line equal to mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by R cube. Now we are going to take another line, that is a equator line. that is to that axis through that center perpendicular line if you draw is the equator line. Suppose this point may be taken as a R, and from the center of the magnet its distance also small r. Equator line. Along with this line, I want to find that magnetic induction for this bar magnet. We are going to take a point R, that distance is smaller from the center of that bar magnet. That line is makes a 90 degree. Here theta is equal to 90 degree. If you substitute this angle in that general formula, B equator line equal to mu naught by 4 pi into m by r cube of square root of 1 plus 3 cos square 90. We know that cos 90 becomes a 0. So if you remove it, we will get that is magnetic induction due to a bar magnet along the equator line. B equator equal to mu naught by 4 pi into m by r cube. This term becomes a 1. This term becomes a 1 because 3 cos square 90 becomes a 0. That's why root 1 is equal to 1. That's why along the equator line we have that magnetic induction mu naught by 4 pi into m by r cube. The magnetic field direction we have. In which direction the magnetic field is acting is, if you take on this point here, acting in this direction, otherwise here also you can take on this direction. So dipole moment is acting here, capital M. To that dipole moment, this point magnetic field, equator line magnetic field makes angle is 180 degree. Angle between B equatorial and m vector is equal to 180 degree. But in a axial line, the same direction it is acting. In the axial line, suppose that the Q point, if you take on side of S or side of N, we have that angle is 0. Angle between that dipole moment and that direction of the magnetic field is 0 for the here angle between that direction of that B equator line and that magnetic moment is equal to 180 degree. It is about that magnet, bar magnet and bar magnet's magnetic field at any point and along the axial line, along the equator line. Suppose this bar magnet is going to place in that some external uniform magnetic field. Let I am taken the uniform magnetic field is external uniform magnetic field. For that uniform magnetic field, we are going to represent that line parallel beam of line. In that, we are going to place our bar magnet. Its axis makes a certain angle with our taken external magnetic field. Here we have a south pole, we have a north pole. Is the axis. That axis makes theta angle with our external magnetic field which has the magnetic induction B. That magnetic field is going to act on both north pole and south pole. Their poles are representing that small m and small m. But this north pole is going to extract a force to along the direction of the magnetic field. That force is acting in this direction. F n vector. That's value can be taken as m into b vector. But on that south pole, the magnetic field extract a force on our south pole, that is F plus vector is equal to minus mb vector. So here force on that north pole and the force on that south pole are magnitude wise equal, but the two are act in the opposite direction. So that's why F net force equal to F1 vector plus Fs vector. We know that both the values are equal and opposite. That's why net force on that bar magnet when it is placed in a uniform magnetic field is 0. Even though the net force is 0, that magnet is going to rotate it, because that two forces, lines of actions are not in that same point, not passing through that same point, acted in a different point. That's why that two equal force made to rotate that bar magnet. There we have a torque act on that bar magnet. That torque formula, general formula, torque is tau representation. One of the force into perpendicular distance. Substitute. Based on that, torque act on that bar magnet by the external magnetic field can be taken tau is equal to mv sin theta. M is nothing but a magnetic moment. We know that magnetic moment is equal to one of the pole strength into length of its magnet. Anyhow, then B is that external magnetic induction. It is a vector quantity. That vector quantity is going to act perpendicular to the plane which contains that bar magnet and that magnetic field. For the vector representation, tau vector equal to m vector cross b vector. It is a vector form of the torque act on that bar magnet. When we have that torque is 0, if theta is equal to 0 degree and theta is equal to 180 degree, torque is equal to 0. Torque maximum if theta is equal to 90, then tau maximum that is equal to mb, because sin 90 becomes a 1. Maximum torque when it is going to enter if the bar magnet axis is perpendicular to the external magnetic field direction, and at the same time if the bar magnet is in an external uniform magnetic field, each and every position it has a potential energy. We have a torque values, torque direction, everything. Same time we have a potential energy for that bar magnet when it is placed in a uniform magnetic field. Then that potential energy can be represented as U. At any point, any position of the bar magnet, it has a certain potential energy that we can calculate, that is minus mb cos theta. Then we have the U is equal to minus m vector dot b vector. But the torque is a cross product, because torque is vector quantity. Potential energy is a scalar quantity. That's why U is equal to minus m vector dot b vector. If the magnet is aligned along that field, theta value is equal to 0. Then if theta is equal to 0, U is minimum, that's value is minus mb. If theta is equal to 180, the dipole moment is act opposite to the direction of our external magnetic field, then we can take that is theta is equal to 180. Then for that bar magnet, potential energy is a maximum. U maximum is equal to plus mb. Suppose if you freely subtend that bar magnet, finally it comes to rest along that magnetic field. Finally it comes along that magnetic field, it attains the minimum potential energy. It is a stable equilibrium condition. If the bar magnet has a minimum potential energy, it is a stable equilibrium. Suppose it has a maximum potential energy, it is in unstable equilibrium. It is in an unstable equilibrium. Generally, in a nature, bar magnet is, if it is freely suspended, aligned along with the field. Suppose I want to rotate that magnet to some angles. There we want to make a work done by the external agent. Then, for in general, work done formula is final potential energy minus initial potential energy. In a stable equilibrium, we know that initial potential energy is the minimum. That final potential energy is based on our angle rotation. That's why that two are going to substitute. Initial can be taken as a theta, can be taken as a theta 1. Final can be taken as a theta 2. Then we will substitute minus mb cos theta 2. Here one minus, in our formula also another minus, minus into minus plus mb cos theta 1. So from that we have taken that the common values mb of cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Then is a work done to rotate the bar magnet from one position to another position, from theta 1 angle to that theta 2 angle. Suppose if it is in a field parallel to some angle, means if it is parallel to the field, theta 1 becomes a 0. Theta 1 is a 0, cos 0 becomes a 1. Then we can take a W is equal to m into b of 1 minus cos theta 2. From that stable equilibrium position to some other angle rotation, we can take a mb of 1 minus cos theta. That is a theta 2 can be taken as a theta, we can say. Then, if initially going to subtend the bar magnet in a uniform magnetic field, for come to rest in that direction of that field, it makes a oscillations, that makes a simple harmonic motions with a small angle with respect to that field direction. Then here we have a torque. That torque can be taken as tau is equal to minus mb sin theta. Here we have that tau is equal to mb sin theta. It is act on that bar magnet. There we are going to take tau is equal to minus mb cos theta. If we subtended a bar magnet in a uniform magnetic field, before come to rest in our direction of the field, that magnet set into oscillations. Their torque can be taken as minus mb sin theta with a small angle. If theta is small, sin theta almost equal to theta, then we can take tau is equal to minus mb into theta. Then based on our rigid body rotation, torque can be related with that moment of inertia with that angular accelerations. Then we can take instead of tau, I into alpha equal to minus mb into theta. So for angular acceleration, alpha equal to minus mb by I into theta is a formula for that angular simple harmonic motion. Is the angular acceleration is equal to minus mb by I into theta can be replaced as minus omega square theta. Omega is nothing but angular frequency. That's why omega square equal to m into b by I. Therefore, omega is equal to angular frequency is equal to square root of mb by I. From that, we can find that time period of that oscillating magnet in our external magnetic field, then time period we can relate, that is omega is equal to 2 pi by t. From that we can take t is equal to 2 pi root of I by mp is a formula for the time period of oscillating magnet in our external magnetic field. Is the angular frequency. Then we have a linear frequency also. Suppose linear frequency we can relate it with a time period. F is equal to 1 by t. Frequency is equal to reciprocal of that time period. If we substitute this in our angular frequency formula, then we will get that omega is equal to 2 pi f. Then therefore f is equal to 1 by 2 pi square root of m into b by I is a linear frequency formula. Okay, angular frequency, time period, and linear frequency when the magnet is set into oscillations, angular simple harmonic motion. There we have that formulas. Okay, then we are going to see about the magnetic effect of electric current. Magnetic effect of electric current. See about the current carrying conductors. If you have any current carrying conductor, around the current carrying conductor we have a magnetic field. It may be a definite shape or indefinite shape. Around the current carrying conductor we have a magnetic field. Suppose I am going to tackle that straight conductor that may be represented as x and y. Through that conductor we are going to passes that current I. Around the current carrying conductor we have a magnetic field. That magnetic field is acting around the magnet in a concentric circular shape. For easily finding the direction of that magnetic field, we can take on that right hand. If thumb represents the direction of that current, holding fingers direction of the magnetic field. If thumb is a current, then holding fingers is a magnetic field. Suppose current is an upward direction. Current is in the upward direction. The magnetic field this side is coming out. That coming out magnetic field we are representing a symbol as a circle with a dot. Is a outward magnetic field. Outward magnetic field can be represented as dot with a circle. Then inward magnetic field, cross with a circle. Is finding the direction. We will use that right hand. Holding finger shows the direction of the magnetic field. Extended thumb shows the direction of the current. Based on that, one side of our conductor is outward magnetic field, another side is acting inward direction. For that direction we are finding. Next we are going to find that magnitude of that magnetic induction at any distance point from that current carrying conductor. For that we will apply the Biot-Savart law. Based on that Biot-Savart law, we have the magnetic induction with a certain distance or distance point, and there not a total length dl length, where we have a certain angle theta with that line joining. Through that current is I ampere current is flows. At this point P, we want to find that magnetic induction. We have the formula dB equal to mu naught by 4 pi into IDL sin theta divided by r square. But magnetic induction is a vector quantity. We can write in a vector form. dB vector equal to mu naught by 4 pi into IDL vector cross r cap, unit vector that is, divided by r square. That is, magnetic induction is acting perpendicular to that plane which contains that current element and that line joining element. Based on that vector cross product, we will find the direction of that magnetic induction. And anyhow, there we are going to tackle finite length conductor means. We know that is certain angle making with that ends finite length. For that, we will tackle that same x and y. Suppose this is the one of point O, but through that conductor we are passing a I ampere current. From that, we are taken P point. This P point is going to make certain angle with that bottom end, that can be taken as theta 1. Then upper end can be takes theta 2. Based on that Biot-Savart law, we can express that magnetic induction due to the finite length conductors, current carrying conductor at that point P can be taken as B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi if that distance from the conductor is A, then we can taken I by A of that we have a theta 1 and theta 2, that is sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2. This can be derived from our Biot-Savart law for a finite length conductors. Suppose it makes a certain angle, for that angle we can substitute. Okay. For a same finite length conductor, if the point is going to taken here, not around the conductor, below the conductor we are going to taken. Suppose this is a P prime point. At this point, I want to find that magnetic field for this current carrying conductor. That we want to make a line joining. For that, dotted line we are going to taken. Then one end of the conductor is going to, X end is going to connect with a line, and Y line also, Y point also going to connect like that. Then this angle is theta 1, this angle is theta 2. Already we have given for a finite length current carrying conductor, B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by A of sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2. That point is taken around certain distance. But now we are going to taken this point. I want to find that magnetic induction. This point is lower of our given current carrying conductor. So their angles are that remaining portion making angle theta 1. Our length conductor makes totally with the theta 2. So what is this angle means? Theta 2 minus theta 1. For that, finding the magnetic induction at that point P prime, we will use that same Biot-Savart law, but the formula is B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi divided by into I by A of sin theta 2 minus sin theta 1. Here theta 2 is total angle, that is a sin theta 2. Theta 1 is the remaining part angle, that's why that is a sin theta 1. That is due to that lengthy conductor. At this point, want to find that magnetic induction mu naught by 4 pi I by A of sin theta 2 minus sin theta 1. Already we have the formula for that conductor around the current carrying conductor certain distance point is the finite length conductors. Next we are going to see about that the same current carrying conductor which has a infinite length B Already for the finite length we have the magnetic induction formula. B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I by A of sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2. If the conductor lengths are indefinite, there we are passing I ampere current from that conductor to taken one point that may makes angle the ends, that angles are theta 1 and theta 2 almost equal to 90, or that is for a infinite length conductors, that theta 1 and theta 2 can be considered. If you substitute theta 1 and theta 2 as a 90, we will get that B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I by A of then sin 90 plus sin 90. Sin 90 value becomes 1, this is also 1. Totally this value becomes a 2. So from this formula, B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi A for infinite long conductors. For infinite long conductors, we have the formula for magnetic induction mu naught I by 2 pi A is a midpoint. Suppose for the same infinite long length conductors, we want to find the magnetic induction at this point, the distance is A. We have only one angle, theta 2 almost equal to 90. At the one end, theta 2 almost equal to 90. Theta 1 equal to 0 at the one end. If you substitute these values theta 1 and theta 2 for in our formula, then we will get B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I by A of sin theta 1 is 0. That's why that sin theta 1 becomes a 0. Then sin theta 2 is 90, that is 1. Then B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I by A. It is at the middle any point at one end. So for middle we have that formula mu naught I by 2 pi A. At one end for the infinitely long conductors, there we have a formula mu naught by 4 pi into I by A. That is the difference of the two formulas. Next, we are going to tackle circular conductors. Through the circular conductors, we are going to pass a current. Along its axis, we are going to find the magnetic induction. We are going to see about the magnetic induction along the axis of current carrying coil. Circular coil we are going to tackle. Suppose the circular coil is placed perpendicular to our plane, which has a n number of turns. Through that coil we are passing a I ampere current. We are going to tackle axis. This is axis. Along the axis certain point we are tackling P. It is the center point of our circular coil. So from the center to that point P, suppose that the distance is x. The coil radius can be taken as r. Based on that same Biot-Savart law, we can find the magnetic induction at that point due to the current carrying circular coil along its axis. We have a formula B is equal to mu naught Ni. We have a radius r, that is r square divided by 2 into x square plus r square power 3 by 2. Based on that Biot-Savart law, we can derive this formula B is equal to mu naught Ni r square divided by 2 into x square plus r square power 3 by 2 along its axis of a circular coil certain x distance point. Suppose this point is going to tangent to that center itself. If point is at the center, x is equal to 0. Then we will find that magnetic induction at the center of the circular coil, mu naught Ni r square divided by 2 into, instead of x we are going to substitute, that is 0. That's why it will becomes r square power 3 by 2. So from that we can derive, that is mu naught Ni by 2r. If that coil has a n turns, mu naught Ni by 2r. If the coil is number of turns is n is equal to 1, center can be taken as mu naught I by 2r. N is equal to 1 means mu naught I by 2r. If the coil is taken half apart only, suppose in that full circular part, one of that part is going to remove, only half the part we are passing a current, I ampere current. That number of turns n is equal to 1, at that center magnetic induction. Mu naught I by 4r, or half part. Magnetic induction is this. Like that, we are going to take some part only in that full circle. Suppose in a plane I am going to take the circular coil. In that we are going to remove a certain part from that center that makes angle theta. We know that total angle is 2 pi. There we have a conductor only 2 pi minus theta. For that, at the center of the circular coil, I want to find that magnetic induction due to that current through that current carrying coil. There B is equal to mu naught I by radius is r of what angle we have, that is taken 2 pi minus theta divided by 2 pi total angle. This is the formula in the conductor's coil shape, but some part is removed. This part is removed. Remaining part only we have a conductor. For that we have a magnetic induction due to the current B is equal to mu naught I by 2r of, that is what part of that coil, that is 2 pi minus theta divided by total angle. Suppose another question we have, in a circle only this small portion only we have a conductor. This can be taken as a theta part of that circular coil only we have a conductor. Then we will find the magnetic induction for this due to that current. We can take the same formula, mu naught by 4 pi into that is not 4 pi, mu naught I by 2r radius of that theta by 2 pi. So for that B is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into theta. For the small r which has a theta angle, that conductor is only in a theta angle, through that I ampere current passes. For that magnetic induction B is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into theta. Then if the distance is, suppose the x distance can be taken as equal to r for a full circular coil, x is equal to r. We have the magnetic induction. General formula is B is equal to mu naught Ni r square divided by 2 into x square plus r square power 3 by 2. If x is equal to r, we will get, that is mu naught Ni r square divided by 2 of r square plus r square power 3 by 2. Then b is equal to mu naught ni r square divided by 2 into 2 root 2 r cube we have. From that we can get mu naught ni by 4 root 2 r is the magnetic induction along the axis of the coil at x distance, that x is equal to that radius of that coil. Radius of that coil, we have the formula mu naught ni by 4 root 2 r.